should raise revenue for states like Oregon. A quirk in our state law allows those multinational corporations to couple a federal deduction on this type of income with a similar state deduction. That creates a counterintuitive revenue loss of more than $100 million if we do nothing. So in January, we started meeting with Legislative Revenue Office and other large companies in Oregon several times, also with economists and tax attorneys, and Legislative Revenue crafted language to fix the law to work the way everybody thought it was supposed to work. With this language, it changes what's known as the dividend received deduction statute, and Oregon will see an estimated one-time gain of approximately $140 million. I've always believed the unwritten law in the legislature that when it comes to one-time money, it should not be placed directly in the general fund. It should be saved into a dedicated fund. And when we drafted this legislation, the rainy day fund stood out as one of the most prudent funds to place this money. Now, I'm very aware of the discussions that have cropped up just very recently about perhaps maybe we should take this one-time money and pay down the PERS unfunded liability. And I actually do support that notion. But when this legislation was drafted, and even now, there is no such fund, although I know one is under construction in the Workforce Committee. Once there's consensus on what that fund should look like, I believe that actually is a viable place to send this money. I've even talked to the Speaker of the House, and she's receptive. There are no guarantees in life, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see this fund in the concurrence bill on this bill. Finally, this bill repeals our tax haven law. With money being repatriated, the tax haven law is moot and unnecessary, and it will also get the legislature out of the business of foreign policy. It will end more than 100 active audits ongoing with the Department of Revenue. When we held 3 hearings on this bill last week, there was no opposition. It is supported by the Pro-Business Group Council on State Taxation, which testified in favor of it. So I would urge your support of Senate Bill 50.